Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Miri Baka for those of you who are new here, and today let's talk about classroom management. I am excited for classroom management talk because I'm in my 5th year as a teacher, which is wild. I taught 5th grade, 6th grade, 3rd grade, and now I'm teaching 2nd grade. So I've learned quite a bit of stuff in the last 5 years. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we get started into the video, I wanted to show you guys some of the products that were sent to me recently. I am obsessed. Liquid IV. If you guys have never heard about Liquid IV, it's pretty much just a blend mix for your water. You just add it to your water and it provides you with energy, it provides you with hydration, and there's so many good products. Look at everything that was sent to me. So thank you Liquid IV for sending me these products. I am pumped. I have been using Liquid IV consistently for the past 3 weeks now, but before that I first tried it back in November because my sister-in-law gave me some for Thanksgiving. She was like, try this, you're gonna love it, and I did, but I never bought some after that. I just kind of like took it and I'm like, oh good. And then when I went to San Diego, my friend Mariah was like, hey, like you should try this if you are dehydrated or if you need just hydration and energy. And I was like, heck yeah, like I love Liquid IV. And so she gave me some, and oddly enough that night Liquid IV was like, hey, we want to work with you, and I'm like, yes, please send me all the products. And so this is what I have the energy multiplier. I've tried this once. It's actually in my water bottle right now, so it'll be my 2nd time. It is so good. I have the hydration multiplier, which is the immune support drink mix, and I love this. This is so good. I've tried it before, but I haven't opened this one yet. And then I have this one. This is the hydration multiplier, and it is 1 stick, faster hydration than water alone, which is crazy. I have the passion fruit here, and I've never tried this one, but it's the acai berry. I'm very excited to try this one. One little mix is equivalent to 3 bottles of water. Like, that is wild. And then the back says non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, no preservatives, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial colors. What else can you want? I have some in my water bottle right now. I'm actually gonna take some of this right now because I just got back from work. It is Friday and I am exhausted. Okay, let's go ahead and get started into the video. So before we get started, I guess I wanted to just start from like the beginning of the school year. At the beginning of the school year, something that you should remember, you should always make it a point to do is make connections and make relationships, form relationships with your students. I think this is one of the most efficient classroom management strategies that you could ever have in your classroom, because obviously you're there with the kids for 9 months out of the year. That's a heck of a lot of time, and so you want to build relationships with the students. You want to be friendly with them. You want to welcome them into a safe environment, especially because if you give them a safe environment, they're going to enjoy school, they're going to listen more often, and they're gonna work hard for you. So I teach 2nd grade, like I mentioned, and they are just a ball of energy, you guys. 7 and 8-year-olds are no joke whatsoever, but I just love asking them questions, asking them personal questions like, hey, what did you do this weekend? Or like, hey, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite ice cream? Or just like relating with them on a more personal level. It's just so fun. I also like to ask this really good question, and this I got from my old principal. I asked them to share a good thing in their life, and we usually go around the room, share a good thing really quick. I don't have all the students share every day because the beginning of the school day is so hectic to begin with, and so I feel like we run out of time pretty quick. But I do ask them if they have anything to share, like from the weekend, or if they just have something positive to share, like they share it. And it's just a time for me to listen to them, for them to feel heard, and it's a time for them to like relate with their classmates as well. So that's super important for me. The next thing is call outs. I use call outs in my classroom all the time. So let me give you guys some examples. For example, I say macaroni and cheese and they say everybody freeze. I say peanut butter and they say jelly. Or I say who lives in a pineapple under the sea, and then they call back SpongeBob SquarePants. My favorite though by far is freeze, everybody clap your hands, and then they clap their hands 7 times, and then they stay quiet, they look at me, and then I'm ready for the next thing. So that works like a charm. I highly encourage you guys to use call-outs in your classroom no matter what. Like, these strategies are literally essential for kinder through 12th grade. Like, you can use some of these strategies for any of those grade levels. Works so good. Okay, the next thing that I use for my classroom management is to have a little bell, like a little doorbell. And every time I ring that doorbell, my students know that they just earned themselves a recess minute. And not like extra recess, but like -1 minute of recess. And so whenever they earn recess minutes, that means that before they go to recess, they have to put their heads down and be in complete silence. And if anyone talks again, then I start the timer over it. Usually I don't ever have to ring the bell more than a few times a day, but sometimes, like, I try not to get it over to like 5 minutes for my sake and for their sake as well, because obviously they need to let as much energy out at recess. And it's like, when I'm not on duty, it's like a time for me to just like breathe and get myself together for the next half of the day or whatever. When we do classroom assignments or anything independently, I also like to have a visual timer on the screen at all times. Like, literally this works like a charm. I display like a 10-minute timer and they know how much time they have to complete an assignment. And they're such visual learners. They love to know like how much they have for an assignment or how long they have for an assignment. And especially this works so good with kids that just do not like completing a lot of work throughout the day. Like, I have to get on them, and so with them being able to see the timer and being able to see how much time they have, like, I think it encourages them to get their work done faster. I also try to have a lot of brain breaks in my class, although sometimes I forget because we just have so much going on and I just want to get everything done. But sometimes I'm like, you know what, these kids aren't learning, they're not focused, so let's do a brain break. And brain breaks can be as short as 1 minute long or 2 to 3 minutes. It really depends. So I like to use Go Noodle for like dance along music, or let's see, I also play some games like Extreme Rock Paper Scissors or Silent Ball or Four Corners, you know, Would You Rather, things like that. Those are great games for your classroom. And again, this can work for kinder through 12th grade. The next thing that I like to do is just more of like a personal opinion, but I love to have a jar full of candy at all times of the school year. This is inspiration that I got from a 4th year teacher of mine, Mr. Atencio. I will never forget this man. He was the sweetest, most generous guy, most caring, fun. Like, I loved him. And he always had like fireballs for us. You remember those little like hard candy that just like about broke your teeth off? Yeah, those. And so he always had fireballs. He always had like pizza coupons. He always he would even do like Easter egg hunts for us at his house yearly. It was insane. And so I really wanted to take after him because I really liked the atmosphere in his class. I made it so fun, and the way I don't just give out like candy like freely, like I have my students work for it. So for example, at the end, and this is another strategy that I really love using too, like at the end of the day we have like a cleanup time, right? And during the cleanup time I have 4 different tables, and every student needs to pick up at least 5 pieces of trash around the room, and then they need to have their area as clean as possible, and then the cleanest table at the end of the day will get a piece of candy from me. But I also like to use candy for like challenges. If kids win a challenge, whether it's in a team or individually, or whether kids get 100% on their assignments, things like that. It's just a way for me to, I guess, reciprocate like the hard work and effort that they have poured out. And so yeah, I really love that. I always have like Jolly Ranchers, Starburst, chocolate. It doesn't have to be expensive too, like gum. Those big packs of gum from Walmart, they have like tons of gum in them, and it's only like less than $3, and it lasts me like a few weeks. So I love that. Another part of my classroom management that I like to do is I really like to do daily check-ins. So this is more for when I'm teaching curriculum. Like, I like to ask my students on a daily almost, like, hey, how do you guys feel about this? Give me a thumbs down. If you really understand, give me a thumbs sideways. If you kind of understand but not really, and then give me a thumbs down if you don't understand what we just went through at all. And so at first this was hard because my students really like to lie. 7 and 8 year olds kind of are little liars, you know. But the more consistent that I was with them, the more honest that they could be, because they weren't any longer like trying to impress their classmates. They were just, oh, I'm getting a phone call. They were just being honest with me. Like some of them I would even catch after asking this question, like I would even catch them saying like, hey, Miss Baca, can you slow down, or can you go back and reteach it, like I'm not understanding. And I love that, because when I get so excited about teaching a certain topic, like I just get going, and then I just kind of forget that I'm teaching to a bunch of 7 and 8 year olds, you know. So that really helps me. Another really cool thing that I use in my classroom is a classroom economy and classroom jobs. So they go hand in hand. So what a classroom economy pretty much means is that kids all have their own money, their own wallets, and I pay them every single Monday. So in my class, I pay them $25 on Mondays, and then they pay me rent on Fridays. And now with this money, they can do certain things, like they can buy a snack every day if they didn't bring any, which is $2. They can pay for line leader, they can pay for lunch bunch with Miss Baca on Wednesdays, and things like that. And then at the end of the month, we also have what we call, well, what I call a market day. So my students get all of their money, they bring stuff from home, like their old toys, or they make little drawings or buy snacks, things like that. And then I buy stuff from Dollar Tree, and then we have a little market day. So they exchange money for goods, things like that. And it's such a like real life experience. And I found that there's a lot of good savers in my classroom, but there's a lot of kids that are also just spenders. Like they just spend their money unwisely, and then they complain about not having any money for market day. But it's really good because it puts a lot of responsibility on them, and it's such like a learning experience too. Like they really learn, like, oh snap, I'm not gonna have enough money for market day, like I should start saving my money, things like that. So it works really well, and I love it. I've been using that in my classroom for the past almost 2 years now. And now for more of the behavioral part of my classroom management, I really think that it's so important to just be calm regardless of whatever is going on in your classroom. This year I am just reflecting on this student, and holy moly, this kid has made my life such a struggle. He is very hyperactive, he is very distracting, he's a liar, he steals every once in a while, he has no remorse a lot of the times for what he does. And holy moly, he is such a challenging kid. And I'm not just talking about that kid, but like just in general, there's some kids like that where you just kind of want to lose your mind. But I found that like staying calm helps so much. It helps with my sanity, and it helps my student respect me, like have mutual respect for each other. You know, I respect him, he respects me, or her, whoever it is that I'm struggling with. And just staying calm with any situation that like they throw at you is so important, because first of all, you don't want the students to gain control over your feelings, over your thoughts and your actions. Like you always want to show them who's in control. And second, like if you just stay calm, the student is gonna stay calm. And if you talk to them seriously, pull them out and be like, hey, like I'm sorry, Bob, like I'm very disappointed in the way that you just acted, or hey, you really hurt my feelings when you constantly keep talking out and distracting other students, especially because you're not paying attention and your grades don't really show that you know the content 100%. So why do you feel, you know, things like that. Like really talking to them one-on-one and getting to their level. Like whenever I talk to a student out in the hall, like I squat down, which I'm already kind of short, but I squat down just so that they know like I'm not any better than them, and I'm not trying to like boss them around or dictate them, like tell them what to do. Like I really just care for them, and I want them to exceed in my classroom. And so having that one-on-one really helps, so I highly suggest it. I also just like to play music for my classroom once in a while, especially when we're doing independent work, because music really calms them down. And I just really take time to prioritize my classroom management in general. I am not an expert, I have so many flaws, there's so many gaps that I still want to work on, but overall classroom management is really up to you. You do have control, and even the areas where that you don't have control of, like you can just relax. You become so much more aware of like the things that you can change and the things that you can't change, and your attitude has so much to do with the way that your day goes and the way that the kids react to however you are acting towards them. So that's pretty much all for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys use these tools to implement back into your classroom. You can literally implement these rules and these tools from one day to the next. It really doesn't take a whole lot. Anyway, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I really love to talk about teaching. Like, it's just such a passion of mine, and I love that I can share what I've learned so far through my teaching. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!